Now we're going to talk about our pomegranate grenadine. Now you might say pomegranate grenadine, isn't that redundant? Grenadine's made out of pomegranates. Yes, it should be. But that stuff you buy in the store that's just like shockingly bright red, that's got pictures of pomegranates on the label, you might know it, it's the one that's everywhere. I don't believe any pomegranates were harmed in the making of that. But that's all we use here. We use pomegranate juice and pomegranate molasses and sugar. In fact, it just says pomegranate, sugar, and water because that's really all that's in here. Just like the rest of our syrups, just turn it over, make sure that there's nothing hanging on the bottom. It's gonna be a little funky on purpose. It's gonna have more flavor. It's not just red food coloring and corn syrup. It tastes more like pomegranates and kind of hints of like a cinnamony, molassesy kind of notes. Okay, the cocktail we're gonna do with this to display it for you is the Jack Rose. It is not, as I always thought, just based on all of the dialogue for the last hour of the movie Titanic, you know, Jack Rose. No, it's not that. It's actually named after the guy who invented it. His name was Frank J. May, and he went by the nickname Jack Rose. It's Jersey City's entrance into the cocktail, classic cocktail canon. So here we're gonna go ahead and whip one up for you right now. Glass right there. Just a ½ ounce of our pomegranate grenadine. Three-quarters of an ounce of fresh squeezed lemon juice. And I like to use 100 proof apple brandy. The fine folks at Fair Game just upped their game. And they were previously making an 80 proof brandy, and they bumped it up, thankfully, to 100 proof, so it'll really come through. That 80 proof stuff you see in the store, that's Laird's, is be careful that you don't buy a apple brandy that says blended apple brandy, because blended apple brandy is to apple brandy what blended American Scotch or blended American whiskey is to whiskey, meaning it's this much spirit and this much vodka, just blended. So you want to look for something that's 100% brandy or 100% apple brandy and 100 proof or 50% alcohol by volume. And then 1.5 ounces, 2 ounces. And wake it up. Little double strain right there into your coupe. Look at that. Nice. Pretty. Garnish that as is proper with a cherry. We've got some of these LUXARDO cherries available in our little shop here now, the Mixers and Mercantile stop. There you have it. Jack Rose.